Alright, since I gotta walk home, may as well tell you a story. Also, I was telling someone else a story, and I didn't get to finish it. So now I'm gonna finish that here story. Looks good that way. Anyways, if you notice there's a lot of traffic, it's not really traffic, it's the animals behind me. Oh, damn. You saw the truth there. Okay, anyways, just ignore that part. Alright, so I was telling a story about the bicycle. Story starts off when I still was a kid, lived on the boat. For those who don't know, it was a sailboat, 41-foot garden catch called Moon Shadow. And at this time, I was living in Gloria de Bay off Coronado in San Diego, and we were anchored. So we had to use a dinghy. For those who don't know, a dinghy is a small rowboat, not a crazy person. Because that would be crazy. Anyways, we had to use a dinghy to get ashore. Sometimes we used an outboard engine. Sometimes we rowed. It all depended. Sometimes we usually had at least 2 dinghies. Occasionally we had 3. But we had one main one. And sometimes we just got to ride ashore. Like one of us took the other one ashore, dropped them off, and came back to the boat. So when that happened, and we came home, we had to yell out to the boat to get them to come back and get us. Because we didn't have cell phones in those days. Anyways, it was not that long ago. And so there was my dad's name was named Bob. My mom, Joan. My sister, Carrie. My name is Lori. There was actually quite a number of Bob, Jones, and Carries that lived on boats or used boats out in the harbor. But not a lot of Loris. So for a while, it was Lori. And for some reason, Moon Shadow didn't translate across the water. I don't know. Something about my name. That was fine. It was nice being special once in a while. So my dad started investing in whistles. So we could actually just use the, like referees. And he had got my sister one, and it was on a red lanyard, like a little red rope lanyard. And he hadn't gotten me one yet, but he was going to. And I was really into beach cruisers. We did live off the beach all the time, so it makes sense to want a beach cruiser. And they looked really cool. And I wanted one so bad. And but we couldn't afford it. And one day we I don't know how this happened, to be honest with you, but we had met some folks who we did some volunteer work at the U.S. Center for World Missions in Pasadena, my mom, my sister, and I. And we met this family from Egypt. We met people from all over the place. It was actually kind of cool. There's this particular family from Egypt, and my sister babysat their kids, and I got to have Egyptian coffee for the first time, and it was so good. Anyways, I know this sounds like it's very scattered, but this all comes together. Anyways, some time had passed, and my mom, I guess, somehow stayed in touch with them, because we had to use payphones to call people, and they had some friends that wanted to come to town and meet us because they heard about us. So we met up at Wendy's. Wendy's was the meeting place in Coronado for us at the time. So this family from Egypt and their friends came to Wendy's, and it turns out the guy that they brought owned a number of strip malls in the San Diego area. So needless to say, he's a very wealthy man. And I assume the topic of conversation was mostly religious, because that's how things went. The couple that we knew from the center were actually missionaries as well. They were Egyptian, but they weren't like American missionaries to Egypt. They were he was a traveling preacher, and they were missionaries that were Egyptian to Egypt, and they'd come to get some training in Pasadena. It was such a weird life. Okay. So it's like these things are not always normal. Alright, so anyways, they wanted to bless my parents, so they gave my parents $100, which when I look back on it, I realize it's not a whole lot of money when you're probably a millionaire, but our family, that was a significant amount of money for us. So we were just like, wow, that's really cool, and we were very grateful. Anyways, time went by. I don't even know how much time went by. And it must have been like a whole nother Sunday, another week, if not more. And we had gone to church. We were with some friends. So I remember our friend Mike Delman, he was like a brother. And he had a lot of energy. Anyways, he was with us. I had to be like 14, 15 at the time. I was probably about 15. Anyways, Mike was a military guy. He was really like a brother. Like, we did everything together, including we all fought with him, and he fought with us, just like a big brother. But we loved him. We loved each other. Anyways, he was particularly hyper, and he was always hyper, but he was particularly hyper, kind of jumping up and down as we walked, which really wasn't unusual for him. So it didn't set off any signals, you know. And it was my birthday. Oh, it was my birthday. Okay, so it was my birthday, but I just wasn't expecting anything. I didn't have any money. And so maybe an ice cream, I don't know, or not even that, I don't know. So we're walking down the street, and my dad pulls out my birthday gift, and it's sorry, I had to itch my nose. It's a key. I'm getting a call. I'm going to ignore it. Okay. It's not a key, I'm sorry. It was my whistle, the one I was supposed to get, with the blue lanyard on it. And he's like, hands it to me, and I'm like, thanks, Dad. Like, I was just really happy to get my whistle. This was great. It was a great birthday present. I don't mind that I'm expecting it. And then Mike's like, look at it, Lori. I look at it, and there's a key hanging from it, which I'm like, it didn't register. And then he's like pointing ahead, and there's a bike up ahead, a blue beach cruiser, brand spanking new blue beach cruiser, with a big bow on the top of the seat, and it's locked to the thing at the where you pay to park, you know, the meter, because they have the little bike thing there too. And he's like, that's your bike, go try it. And Mike, like I said, he was like a brother, and I did not believe him at all. Like, I knew he was playing with me, but he would not shut up. So in order to get him to stop bothering me, I went over to the bike and was going to just pretend to unlock it to get him off my back. And I stuck the key in, and oh my, Lanta, it turned. And that's when I realized that was my birthday gift. That was my bike story. That was my vehicle for years and years and years after that. That bike lasted a long time. Somebody even tried to vandalize it because they didn't like liveaboards there. Slashed my seats. My dad replaced it later because that was my vehicle. He didn't like spending money, but that was important. Got me to wherever I need to go, including work. I rode that bike for years. All right, there you go. That's my story. You know, it was very exciting. I have to go. Someone keeps calling me. Bye.